Welcome to Pinnacle Digest Radio, where we're always searching for the next big discovery. I'm your host, Alexander Smith. It's October 29th, 2012. Today we're joined with Peeyush Varshney, the President and CEO of Canada Zinc Metals. Canada Zinc Metals owns 100% of the Acai zinc-lead project in north central BC. The Acai project is an advanced one with more than 30 million spent to date and over 45,000 total meters drilled by Canada Zinc and its previous operators. Lundin Mining and Tongling, one of China's leading base metal refiners, own a combined 40% stake in the company. Canada Zinc Metals is a client of ours. We own shares in the company. For obvious reasons, we are biased when it comes to Canada Zinc Metals. Peeyush, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alex.
Let's talk about the zinc market for a moment. Currently, supply levels are in a surplus. That's expected to change with projections of an impending and significant deficit for the metal in the next few years here. Can you explain the atmosphere surrounding the zinc market right now? Are investors weary of buying into this sector from your point of view, or has interest picked up given the potential supply issues?
When I look at the fundamentals of zinc and the way the market's looking at zinc, certainly from mining company perspective, everyone that we've spoken to, every mining group, they all believe that there truly is this large looming deficit that is going to occur in just a matter of time. Whether it be Glencore, we've got Lundin Mining, Tongling, non-ferrous metals as existing shareholders, but we've talked to Boliden, China Minmetals. There's a bunch of groups that have approached us about our project, and they all agree that the fundamentals of zinc are in our favor.
Right.
From an investor perspective, I think that is also where the opportunity lies. I think right now, people are looking at zinc. Supply is in a surplus right now. Zinc's trading in the mid-80s, 80-cent range per pound. But again, I think if you look at the direction that we all expect the zinc market to go in, I think there is a great opportunity right now to, in fact, accumulate, the top zinc stories around. And, I've just got a call recently from a group out of London, the UK. They want to introduce me to a number of their larger clients who all are now also starting to look at zinc as a potential investment. So I already sense there's an increase in interest in the space.
Right. In respect to Canada Zinc Metals, you guys have spent over $31 million on the Acai project, so it's obviously an advanced asset given the size of the resource calc. In many ways, your team has been preparing for the possibility of a zinc deficit, which could arrive in the next few years. We've just spoken about what makes Canada Zinc Metals prepared to capitalize if this supply deficit does in fact take place.
Well, we already have a well-defined large zinc-lead deposit. So that's one thing, where we're much more than, an exploration play on zinc. I mean, we've got almost 30 million tons of approaching 10% combined zinc-lead. So, one, we've got the asset. As we alluded to, we've already got a couple of big mining groups invested. Again, Lundin Mining and Tongling non-ferrous metals out of China. And, given their share positions, we've had discussions with both of them. I think they're prepared to, offer their expertise, which they have a lot of in terms of, putting deposits into production. And basically mining them. Of course, they've also both got the financial clout to help fund a mining scenario. So, I think there's a lot of positives and a lot of things working in our favor as a company. We've got almost 14 million working capital in the company already. So we're well funded. We've got big groups that put deposits into production.
Right.
And we've got the big asset. Yeah.
Now, Peeyush, in respect to Tongling, many of our Canadian or North American investors might not be too familiar with that company. Could you elaborate on the relationship you guys have built with Tongling and the relevance of a company this size being a shareholder in CZX?
For sure. No, I think, so Tongling, non-ferrous metals, they're a state-owned enterprise out of China, and, they're considered to be the first or second largest copper smelting company in China, so they're big. Copper is their main play. They are fully integrated. They've got exploration projects, they've got deposits, they've got mines, they've got smelters, so they're a fully integrated group.
Right.
They were given a zinc smelter and a lead smelter by the government about 2.5 years ago, and Canada Zinc Metals is the only company that they've invested in the zinc space to date. So we are their only investment in the zinc industry, and I think you can already get a sense from them that they're keen to get the project into production to feed the smelters that they have.
Right, and you've actually been over there. They've been over to the Acai as well?
Yes, yeah. No, we've been to Tongling, a city in China, twice. We visited Tongling in Ecuador also. Going back about 2 years ago, Tongling and another Chinese group, China Railway, they together did a takeover bid of Corriente Resources, a copper project down there for about $650 million. So we visited Tongling down in Ecuador also once, and they've certainly had delegations from China come to visit us here in Vancouver about 4 or 5 times. They've been up to the project twice, as recently as just this past June. So there's a lot of dialogue between the two groups, and I think we've had a very good relationship with them. From what we're hearing, other than Corriente, we're their other big project that they're looking at.
That's great. Speaking about BC, politics, as we know, play a huge role in the success and failure of so many mining projects. Your Akai project is located in the prolific mining region of the Ketchikan Trough there, with the potential for a provincial party leadership change in BC, potentially shifting power to the NDP. How do you believe their policies could have a negative or positive impact on the mining industry if NDP is elected?
Well, exploration and mining and the resource sector, it's such a big employer in the Western provinces and BC. And my thought is that either party would continue to want to see growth in the mining sector, given all the benefits natural resources provides in the province, the tax revenue, the jobs. Yeah, so, I think I'm optimistic. Either way, I think we're still in a very strong bull market in the resource sector, and I think there's too many benefits that you can't ignore the need to keep growth in the resource sector.
Now let's talk about just a recent success in the BC mining industry. Your VP of Exploration, Ken McDonald, was recently a part of a huge success story. He knows the ins and outs of the mining exploration in BC as good as anybody. Recently responsible for all mine permitting in relation to the Mount Milligan open pit gold copper mine. How has he benefited Canada Zinc Metals and the Akai project to date? And obviously he'll be a huge help in the future. Just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, yeah, Ken McDonald, he joined us about 2 years ago as our VP Exploration.
Okay.
And he's got almost 25 years of experience in the mining sector. He's held positions in the past as a senior permitting official with the mines branch of the BC government. So, he's one of these guys that can do it all. I mean, he's strong technically. He's also got the permitting down quite well, again, given his background in the government. So he led the Mount Milligan permitting process, and he basically led the team, packaged it up to a point where it's fully permitted, and that's when Thompson Creek Metals came in and did that takeover of Terrain Metals. So Ken brings a lot of experience, as a geologist, as a technical leader, as well as his ability to navigate through the BC government permitting process. He basically, I've seen emails that he's had back and forth with people within the BC government, and he got our 3-year underground exploration permit done, on an expedited basis. He's got us our drill permits for Akai and some other of our properties in the region, again, quite quickly. And it's been a pleasure to see the relationships that he has with people in government.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal. In respect to the Akai project and other, in comparison to other zinc assets, what are some of the main differentiators?
Well, if we look at Akai itself, it's, as I mentioned, 30 million tons right now. And it is...
how many pounds are we talking about, Peeyush, just for the investor? I know it's high grade. What kind of pounds are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at about 5 billion pounds of zinc, 800 million pounds of lead. There's also a very good silver credit in there. So it's large, but the deposit itself is open in all directions. So 30 million tons, I think, could certainly grow to 40 million or higher. So it's big. It's got very good grades, about combined between 9 and 10% zinc plus lead. It's primarily a zinc project. The infrastructure in the area, this is one thing that really differentiates us, I think. As people look at our project and where we are in BC, they actually see that there is actually pretty good infrastructure in the area as compared to other projects in more remote areas. We've got full road access right now. Those roads connect down to the town of Mackenzie, At Mackenzie, there's existing railhead that goes to Trail, BC, where Teck has a zinc smelter. That railhead also goes to the ports, the deep sea ports of Stewart and Prince Rupert, right. Where you could ship the concentrate to other places overseas. And obviously, Tongling looks at those ports as a route where they can ship right to their smelters on the Yangtze River. Wilston Lake, which is just to our south, it has the largest hydropower plant in BC, the WAC Bennett Dam. So you've got a power source not far as well. So, you've got road, you've got rail, you've got power, you've got deep sea ports. So that's certainly something that a lot of the big mining groups that have approached us have noticed. And
some critical ingredients, for sure.
Yeah.
In respect to the next potential milestone, moving forward for Canada Zinc as we head into the winter here in the spring, what's the next potential big milestone for the company at its AKI project?
Well, right now, we're certainly preparing for an aggressive underground exploration program, and then also I think beyond that would be a potential bulk sample. We want to basically get underground and efficiently drill out the resource to get it to measured and indicated, and then complete feasibility level studies. So certainly at Akai, the next steps are getting the deposit basically measured and indicated. But for the company itself, other things that we're doing is we also have this extensive land package. We're basically a district scale opportunity. So beyond just the Akai deposit, we've got some very, very prospective ground, and we are talking to a couple of groups right now whom I can't name, but they're showing great interest in the rest of the regional claims that the company owns. So there's certainly a lot of exploration upside as we explore and possibly drill some of these other properties.
Right, and this is a huge claim block, 6,400 hectares. Is it a long trend of the Akai?
Yeah, no, it stretches about 140 kilometers, and it's very prospective ground. There's this gunsteel shale that hosts the mineralization. So along this entire 140 kilometer stretch, we have gunsteel shale underneath pretty much all of it. So hence the attraction to these other big mining groups for the rest of the region.
Peeyush, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions, and we wish you nothing but luck and success in the future.
Thanks, Alex. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks again.
Canada Zinc Metals trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the ticker symbol CZX. Investors looking for more information can visit their website at canadazincmetals.com. Please note that neither myself nor PinnacleDigest.com and its employees are registered broker-dealers or financial advisors. Before investing in any securities, including the one mentioned in this interview, you should consult with a financial advisor or registered broker-dealer. This concludes another edition of Pinnacle Digest Radio. Thanks for tuning in.